We're weird. We're welcoming. We're silly. We're serious sometimes. Hopefully entertaining. This is Glenda with the AKA GK Fralin Friendly Community, and we welcome you. We're weird. We're welcoming. We're silly. We're serious sometimes. Hopefully entertaining. And for anybody who has anything in their life that isn't pleasant to just want to get a day and have some goofiness, go find one of ours that's just plain crazy. Oh, golly. I watched some funny videos, animal videos today on YouTube. They were just awesome. Classic. Just go watch them. Yeah, funniest animal videos, something like that. Just put it in the search bar. Go have a good laugh. I mean, there's this one old guy, he can't stop laughing, and this billy goat's butting him in the, every time he turns around, he gets him in the butt. He's not knocking him over, but this old guy just can't stop laughing. And just stuff like that. You know, it's when animals just make humans hilarious. I think that's what it is. It's not so much that the animal's acting out of character. They're acting very much in character. But they make humans hilarious. Anyway, yes they do. We had, growing up, okay, we're going back to the past. That made my lips tickle. We had this horse called, she was just barely a horse. 14 hands, I think, is considered a horse. And she just barely made that, if. Anyway, she was a paint, real nice paint. And she could be so mellow until she decided not to be. And when she made that decision, it was her game. We did so much on that horse, though. I mean, we played rodeo, we jumped off onto limbs, we did all kinds of stuff. But she did dump my brother, and I think my sister, my youngest brother, and one of my sisters over her head. You know, in one of those sudden stops where they put their head down and they just went thumbled over the top onto the ground. She was good at that one. And running off with you when you were, you know. And she had one heck of a strong mouth and neck when she was determined to go. And when she did it with me, it was because, well, I was about 8. And we took her away from her. We were weaning her from her colt. Or weaning the colt from her, whatever. But as soon as I got on her, she took a beeline down toward the corral where the colt was. They whinnied at each other. She got mad because she couldn't get in the fence, and she whipped around, and she took me up the drive, up out onto the gravel road, and up the hill to the old Worthington place, and I was screaming the whole way, "Help, help, help!" And the funny thing is, then she turned around and was calm as could be. And my dad and the high school kid who was working for him, talk about embarrassing, because he was very good looking. Anyway, when they got there and saw me on that horse, and I was still screaming at the top of my lungs, and tears running down my face, and they started laughing. You can't insult a child more. Animals make humans funny. Oh, golly. It's like children making adults funny. And they can do that. But if you don't act childish once in a while. Now, I did watch Vegan Van Vibe today, and Mrs. Vibe, because I don't know her otherwise, she went playing at the playground. It was just a cute little bonus video, and she was hilarious. I enjoyed every minute, and I told her so. But you got to have those times, you know. You just got to be a kid. When my kids were little, and well, even when my older grandkids were young, I used to get down on the floor and crawl and chase them, you know, all that stuff. And then I see videos of people with their little ones online now, you know, those that do, you know, do daily videos like this, or do, you know, sometimes not daily, but you know, they're fresh parents, first child, whatever, and just down on the floor, just rolling with them, and they just being a kid with the kid. And it's entertaining to the kid, and to tell you the truth, it's entertaining to the adult too. For one thing, the adult's amazed they can still do it. Anyway, I am out here with my energy drink. I'm covering the label, but you probably know what it is. And yes, it's sugary, but it does have electrolytes. And I just feel like I need it. Oh, a little cold for a deep chug-a-lug. But my husband brought in, it's been a few days, but he brought in his first cherry tomatoes. They were still a little green. He plopped about 5 of them down on my table in there. And I picked the first one. I said, "Oh, your tomatoes." And he said, "Yep, first ones." I picked the first one up and I bit into it. And he was, I said, "A little green yet, huh?" He said, "Yeah." He was laughing. Because I asked him when he laid him down there, I said, "Did you get some?" "Yeah, I had a couple, right?" Yeah. But they were still good. And one thing I look forward to, if I can get them out of him this year, or if they last, anyway, is toward the end of the tomato season, you take a mess of green tomatoes and you make fried green tomatoes. Love them. They are so good. And I think maybe around October, Joe and I, we both have our birthdays in October. And I think maybe we'll take our PT Cruiser and, well, new to us, and maybe take a little trip somewhere. We've been trying to figure out, he says, "Well, where do you want to go?" And it's like, I don't know. Anyway, that's another place we wouldn't mind visiting again. So, give us some ideas if you have them. I don't think I'll go to Florida. Haven't been hearing too good of things about the weather down there. And I know Louisiana is not a good place to go. So, for just once in my life, I would absolutely love to see up north. I mean, we've been to Minnesota when I was a kid, but, and we've been to South Dakota. But, I mean, you know, like Alaska, wouldn't that be so? I'd love to take that cruise up there, but I don't know if it will work for me. I don't know. You know, that ferry boat, I'd have to see. But it would sure take an awful lot of planning, and a lot of putting everything together. I mean, we've gone on trips since I've been on oxygen, but we always have to. Well, that's why we always have, the van has a lot of room. We took a seat out. The PT Cruiser it's a hatchback, so there's some room back there. But the scooter would have to go in the van, because that's where the lift is to put it in there. I don't really care for that scooter, but we don't qualify for one. I can still walk 20 feet in the house, and so that's their breaking point. So, I mean, I'd qualify to buy one myself, but the one we've got, we bought that secondhand. And we bought another one with it secondhand. We bought both of them for $600, but one of them, the newer one's still over at the old place, but it's missing a battery. And I don't know, I suppose you could switch the batteries, but just, I don't know, this one works just fine just around here. So, anyway, but that's one reason why we got the wheelchair. We haven't used it yet, but it's so that when we do go someplace, you know, kind of travel like that, he would be able to push me in the wheelchair. And as long as it's wheelchair accessible. Wow. I don't think that's the vacation we'll take. But wasn't that awesome scenery? Wasn't that, I mean, I know it was a little dizzying watching that kid on those rocks, but wow, what a what a view, you know, when he gets there. That kid's sitting there and they're just looking out over that. And yeah, you feel like you could just go right on over, but you know, oh, if you could fly, you know, the old song. But they do have those suits now. Excuse me. They have those suits now where they've got, you know, they almost, you can look almost like a flying squirrel. They've got all the, you know, the flaps and everything and stuff. So, and people are actually jumping out of planes in those and landing safely on the ground. Manned flight without any engines. Just, well, I guess they're parasails too. So, but I'm running out of time. So, I love every one of you because I have been loved and it's an important thing. So, tomorrow's another day in Hasta Mañana.